everybody has a case is different. I don't know anybody who's the same. Everybody's got something different going on, but there is a commonality in that it is all Parkinson's. It just, presents itself differently in different people. They're from all walks of life. Parkinson's doesn't care, it's like cancer. He had just a little tremor, small handwriting. You can't read his handwriting. And they ask him to write big, and you still can't read that handwriting.
It was about 3 years ago that your tremors started to get bad.
Yeah, and it got to the point where I still wanted to work, okay? I still liked that little bit extra income, and so I did want to keep working. And there was no way. I couldn't solder, I couldn't do things I would normally do. It was really affecting my family life. I mean, I didn't want to go anyplace, I didn't want to go to restaurants. Basically, I was shaking so much, the tremors were so bad that, God knows where the food was going to end, but it wasn't going down my mouth.
I was having slow handwriting, and it would get smaller, and I was kind of dragging my leg.
She said that, tell me, if I told you something, will you leave me? I said, why would I leave you? I married you for life, not for just, good times. So when she said I said, don't worry about whatever we have to do it, we will do it to get you through.
I used to be a worship pastor, leading music at churches, and we led the singing, directed choirs and orchestras. I stepped down from that role about 5 years ago, but I still liked playing music, so I still sat down at the piano every once in a while and would try to play some music. And that's where I started to notice some problems. I started noticing that my left hand was working fine, but my right hand was getting slower and slower. And being right-handed, that's backwards, so my right hand was always the faster, stronger one. Then I started noticing I was having trouble typing on my computer as well with the same right hand. The last 3 years, it's just slowly continued to get worse. To the point now, my left hand's still fine, my right hand, I can barely move these fingers, and this is on medicine. Buttoning buttons, I hold my hand out every morning, my son buttons this button for me because I can't do it myself. It's progressed now, we're struggling more in my whole right arm. Even putting my jacket on and off is a challenge. I've slowly seen some effects in my leg and foot as well, so just walking is a little awkward. My name is Tim McCarty, and I'm 40 years old and I've been having some symptoms from Parkinson's for the last 5 years. I was officially diagnosed 3 years ago when I was 37. My immediate response is, okay, so how do we fix this? What do I need to do now to get this better? I'll never forget, he very clearly said that, Tim, you're not going to die from Parkinson's. And that's great, I'm okay then. But he said, but you're going to die with Parkinson's. There's no cure for this disease, and you're going to have the rest of your life.
My name is June Crow. I'm the wife of James Minton, and
Jimmy?
He has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease since 2019. His major problem is his balance. He has a terrible balance issue. I didn't know what it was when we first went, and when he was first diagnosed, I didn't even know about any organization. I was just kind of going through, what am I going to do about this? And then, when they ran him through all those tests, all I did was cry. This is all driving me crazy because you're just not familiar with all the little symptoms and just what's going on.
My name is Paul. I've had Parkinson's now for about 10 years. It started out slow, a little twitchy or whatever, and they were saying, as long as you can make your hand stay still, you haven't got Parkinson's. Yeah, right. So finally, my nephew, who's a surgeon, said to Robin, you have to take him to a neurologist. And so I did, and she spotted it right away, and she said it was Parkinson's.
I never knew how many symptoms went along with Parkinson's. My grandfather had Parkinson's, and he shook. That's how I remembered it. But I never knew there were all the other things that go along with it.
Hi, my name is Marilyn.
I'm Tarun.
We've been married for 48 years. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's 16 years ago. My sleep is disturbed. I shut out on my sleep. I pushed the lamp off the nightstand the other day. Anxiety is one of my worsts. I got involved with PJ Parkinson's before COVID. And we were going to support group meetings, and there was a Christmas dinner, and it was just nice to be with other people that could understand what we were going through. And then COVID came. He'd say, "Where do you want to go for lunch?" I said, "The kitchen." So I didn't get out much. There was depression. There was anxiety again about going out, doing things. And then I saw an ad about PJ Parkinson's. I said, that's where we went before. We have to start going again. I heard about the dance, and I was like, I can't do dance. All I could think of was Dancing with the Stars. So I didn't know where I would fit in there until we went to the barn in Sevierville, and there was a lot of programs going on that day where we actually did a dance class. I said, I can do this.
We like the Parkinson's dance. We enjoy doing that. So, and Jim can do a lot of things. It's not all in chairs. Sometimes we stand up and do stuff.
Paul's cousin Marilyn already was a member of PJ Parkinson's, and she told me about it, and I wanted Paul to go back to being the more social person that he used to be. So we decided to come to a couple of things, and I immediately saw a change in him. His mood, the way he was with people, and it was a positive experience. So I'm like, let's keep going.
I started with a counselor, and I found that I was getting more out of the PJ Parkinson's than going to him.
Connecting with PJ Parkinson's was actually pretty fun for me. I have 2 kids, and they had a friend that was having a birthday party, and this friend decided to have the party at the Ice Bears hockey game. And so I thought, man, my wife and I'll go along with you guys, it'll be a lot of fun. On the way into the stadium, I saw this table off to the side that said Parkinson's Awareness Month. And I have Parkinson's, I didn't even know it was Parkinson's Awareness Month. And so it was kind of fun to see that. And so I went over and started talking to them. And as soon as I shared that I had Parkinson's, the whole, Isabel and her whole team came around me, and they said, you gotta meet her, you gotta meet Isabel, you gotta meet Ashley, you gotta meet Justin, you gotta meet these guys. And they made me feel so welcome. They started to talk about some events that they have going on, some support groups, and just from there it was a pretty quick connection. And it almost made me feel like they were there that night just for me. And I don't believe in coincidences, and I believe that the only Ice Bears hockey game I've ever been at happened to be the one that PJ Parkinson's was there. I know PJ Parkinson's has all kinds of events for different things. One of the things that I really enjoyed was the 5K this year. It was an event where I could bring some of my friends that I work with, and they got to hear more about Parkinson's and be supportive of what I'm going through. And my 2 kids and wife all ran with us as well. My kids even won medals, so they thought that was fun. And one of my friends that came from the office said, he's an athlete, he's been in a lot of sporting events. He said this is one of the few events that I would have been in that had purpose. And he loved being a part of that as well.
The equestrian part. I went to that going to, okay, maybe I'll just hang around, almost supportive of other people in the group. But I found I got so much out of it. She wanted us to groom and try to do this exercise. And I found myself not being able to do it because I was more getting relaxed just by grooming the horse. It was like you groom the horse, problems sort of float away. They don't go away, you know they're not gone, but for a brief moment of time, it felt good. It really did.
If you like horses, you don't have to ride them, you can just pet them.
I think the biggest thing from PJ Parkinson's for me was Isabel helped me get connected with some doctors and local groups of therapy and things like that, where I was driving to Nashville for all my appointments when there's so many things right here in Knoxville that I didn't even know about. And so that's been a huge blessing as well.
I love to hear stories about what's going on in people's personal life, and it's a great way to find out about that is learn more about what you're facing. We continue to face many, many obstacles as we fight ourselves and our family members and our loved ones against this, what we call a Parkinson disease, but it's really a number of different things. And so why do we need money? Because people like you or me or somebody in your family may need the services of PJ Parkinson's. And that could include many of the different things that you've heard here tonight. One of those is dance. Yeah, you didn't think I could dance, but I can dance. Yeah, that's one of the places, and that's a great way to stay involved. I'm not saying I'm a good dancer, but it's a way to stay involved in the care groups and the equine activities with the horses and meeting people every month or so. But you know, there's another opportunity that comes my way every day. Is I have to make that decision in the morning whether I'm going to make this a good day or a bad day. And there can be a lot of bad days, but you know what? You make those bad days feel better when you give, and you give knowing that all your money stays here in East Tennessee. PJ Parkinson's takes care of all that money. It's done respectfully, and it's done in a way that's going to help people in the future. I was diagnosed 12 years ago. I get people that come into the area today that if I go out to the store every once in a while with some buds of mine, then they'll look at me and they go, oh, you know, they act like Parkinson's is a death sentence. It's not a death sentence. You can live for years. I've been diagnosed 12 years ago I was diagnosed. And some people look at me and they say, wow, you look good. Others say, oh, you're losing weight and this sort of thing. Bottom line, God's good. He has been, you know, almost 60 years. But you know, God is good all the time, and I feel blessed to be able to work with the folks at PJ Parkinson.
Thank you for your support of PJ Parkinson's. Whether you give, volunteer, or pray for us, or whatever your support looks like, it means more than you know. It's making a big difference.
Thank you for supporting the PJP. It means a lot to a lot of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All your donations, and even your donations of time, money, and just prayer, work right here in East Tennessee. It stays here. It's local. It's not a national organization.
It wouldn't be here without donations. Like a lot of good programs, they can't survive without donations. Thank you to everybody that supports PJ Parkinson's, because it's done a lot for my husband and myself as well. Seeing him happy is important.
I want to thank everybody who donates to PJ Parkinson's, and to think there's so many things that PJ Parkinson's does for us as a family, as a group. It's incredible, and we want to thank you for your donations.
I thank everybody who is helping, and I wish that other people also help them, because the more they have, the more variety of things they will be able to do for us.
And thank you from PJ Parkinson's, because we know your donation is going to go a long way and could even change a life.